This is Ready, Set Reiki, a podcast about Reiki and all energy work, from the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination. And on this Ready, Set Reiki journey, I refer to myself as a guide rather than host, as I too am traveling, learning, and supporting others on this Reiki journey as well. And with that said, I am your guide, Tracy Seawright, and this is Ready, Set Reiki. Hello, Reiki family. Reiki blessings to you, one and all. Another amazing and wonderful journey today. But before we begin, I'd like to tell you about a very special place on Facebook. Now, this is the Reiki Business Collective. Here you can share, support, and serve, and it costs $0 to join. Find this on Facebook. Christian Stone offers a very wonderful and supportive place. No matter where you are on your Reiki journey, I'd like you to know that you are never, ever alone. There are individuals out there who are here to help guide and support, serve, and share. So even if Reiki business isn't even a thought in your mind, you're like, oh, I can't even think of a business. Come on, be a part of us, be a part of that community. I also like to invite you to the 31st annual ICRT International Reiki Retreat. Now, this is September 4th to the 7th of 2026 here in Sedona. This is a wonderful place to learn and grow and help deepen community, and wonderful teachers there. I will be there as well. There's also an online option. You can attend it virtually if you're unable to travel, whatever reason that is. So check it out. And if you sign up now, you have an option of getting a crystal sound bowl. I got mine. It is fantastic. Wonderful piece, probably better than some of the other pieces that I have. And also, if you don't want that crystal bowl, you can get a wonderful meditation. Well, back to our journey. So I'd like to invite an amazing person here, a great connection I have, because she too is was a teacher, right? So this is Patty Montgomery. Now, she is the owner of Patty Mont Reiki. Now, she is an Azui Holy Fire 3 master teacher and a lifelong educator. She's passionate about helping others connect with their inner light and healing. How beautiful is that? We need more people who bring the light into the world here. Now, she has over 30 years of inspiring young minds. She now shares a transformative power of Reiki through her heart-led practice and teaching. Now, she's creating spaces of healing, joy, and soulful growth. Now, she has a background in elementary education and decades of teaching experience that she now blends with her passion for learning with transformation. And now with Reiki, she offers Reiki sessions, classes designed to help individuals access their innate healing abilities, cultivate inner peace, and live with greater purpose. Her mission is to inspire, educate, and support others to help them embrace their own path and growth and well-being. She offers sessions, private Reiki therapy, animal Reiki, private guided meditations, and group meditations, workshops, private angel oracle cards, and reading and Reiki 1 and 2 trainings, and the Reiki master level training. So let's give a warm Ready, Set Reiki welcome to Patty.
Hello, good morning. It's so great to be here, Tracy.
Wonderful. So happy that you're here. I always love when there's another fellow elementary teacher on this journey, and we're here connecting with the Reiki energy. And I know you love Reiki just as much as I do. So I was able to watch you on the Reiki Business Collective last year, and I saw your passion and how much you really love sharing what Reiki is. So let's begin
Yes.
our journey together. So I told our listeners just a little bit about you, but I know there is so much more. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was, like you said, a primary teacher for 30 years. And one of the coolest things about becoming a teacher was I was led to become a teacher through a regression where I was regressed at the age of 28 to a lifetime where I was a school teacher. I was in Missouri. And I was Sarah Whitaker in that lifetime. And I came out of that regression saying, oh my goodness, I think I need to go back to school and become a teacher. And the really cool part, Tracy, is that eventually in my teaching, I created, along with two other teachers, a one-room schoolhouse type of teaching. It
Mhm.
was in the 90s. We called it multi-age. We kept children, I kept children in my classroom for 3 years. And so they came to me as a first grader and left and going into fourth grade. So it's really cool how I came to teaching. I wasn't planning on becoming a teacher, but once I became the teacher, I prayed every single morning to bring light into my classroom. So I feel like Reiki was with me the entire time I taught, but I didn't know anything about Reiki. So,
Right. Wonderful. I remember going through college in the 90s, and I think in Pennsylvania we were calling it outcome-based education, where we were going back to that
mhm,
old school one classroom. So
yeah.
it's interesting that you actually had implemented it, because when I
Mhm.
graduated, I actually went to Maryland and they had no idea what I was talking about. I was there for a year and moved down to South Carolina, and they were like, they hadn't heard of it, and they were actually wanting to start the thematic units, and they
Yeah.
was learning that, and that was something that I had spent 4 years studying in college
Mhm.
to do that, and so they were just beginning that. So it's so interesting, hearing that you were able to do that and have those
Mhm.
students for 3 years. So how beautiful! I love that. So here we're talking about Reiki. Uh, so when did Reiki come into your life? Did you find Reiki or did it find you?
It found me. It's a great story. We lived in Arizona all of our lives. My husband and I, we've been married 53 years.
Beautiful.
I met him as a teenager, and then later at 19, we got married. Anyway, we decided to move up to Washington. And that's where we live now. We've been here about 5 years. Soon after I moved here, one of the neighbor people, we got friendly, and one of her friends was a Reiki person. And but she didn't have the background of writing and correcting her grammar, and she was needing help. So I
Mhm.
said, well, I'll just edit her papers. So I started editing her work before she posted it on her website. And I realized, oh my gosh, wait, this is what I've been doing my whole life. And so immediately I found somebody to teach Reiki to me, and I did everything virtually online. I was very blessed to have found the teacher that I found. I'm going to mention her, Patricia Lane. Patricia is an ICRT licensed teacher. And I love her so dearly. In fact, Tracy, it was so funny. I'd had a lot of student teachers over the years. I mean, I had 18 different student teachers, and it was something that as I was teaching these student teachers how to be a teacher, I realized that you needed to be more than just reading the book and getting the information, and then you are a teacher and you go out and do it. You have to be with somebody like a mentor, I feel. I think it's very important to have a mentorship. So once I took Reiki the first time from Patricia, I decided to review her class. Well, I reviewed her class 5 times. I'm not kidding. And it helped her each time it was helping her become licensed.
Mhm.
And it helped me to be a better teacher when I became the Reiki teacher that I am. So I think that's kind of an interesting thing of how Reiki found me.
Beautiful. And you
Yeah.
can listen to Patricia. She has been a part of the Ready Set Reiki journey, so you can listen to her episode. And for the program that she's in, the International Center of Reiki does offer a program, a mentorship program. It's about a 3 to 4 year program. I'm currently a student in the program right now, so I'm going towards, I co-teach with my mentor actually, not this weekend, but the next weekend. So yeah, you
How
have to
exciting.
classes and so many things, and so it really helps you along the journey here. So if it's something that those individuals that are listening and you want to go deeper, that's an option. Look into it. It's at reiki.org. So here we are in the Reiki journey. 5 times you were able to, and you learn something different each time. I think when
Yeah.
you take the classes, it can be that same teacher, but something lands a little different each time. So
Mhm.
I find it's a good thing to kind of repeat the class or audit a class and just, hear it again, and it'll land very differently each time. So here as you're on this journey, what are some of the misconceptions that you are hearing about Reiki as you are navigating forward in this beautiful stress reducing modality?
Oh, well, it's kind of interesting what happened for me, and I'm going to give you a little backstory so that I can explain how I explain Reiki, and what I find is difficult for people to grasp about it or even believe it. I met somebody in the social selling group, direct sales, and I was buying doTERRA from one of these people that was in an event, and I would go in the events and make comments and ask questions just because I had been a direct seller for Rodan. It's a skincare company. I quit doing that as soon as I became Reiki because my focus needed to be all on Reiki. So um, I was um, I was I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. That's what happens when you get old. Um, okay. Bring me back. I am
Misconceptions.
misconceptions. Yes, the misconceptions. So once I started trying to share Reiki on a direct sales event, and I do it once a month, I have all of these beautiful images and stories and testimonies that I have with my clients, and I put them in the event, and then it's like an advertisement, and then people buy either a Reiki session or oracle card session or buy a class through that event. And so what happened was when I first started, and it's been about a year and a half now that I've been doing the events. So I had to explain what Reiki was. And to people, like these people had not even heard of Reiki, a lot of them, most of them. And so I used a lot of examples of testimonials from different of my clients to get people to understand. And then every time somebody would ask a question, I would go and search the answers out. And that was how I began to share with these women what Reiki is about. And so I think the biggest misconception is that it's not for everybody. They don't know that they can do it too. Um, and let's see, I've written down some notes, but I'm not following them. So let me see if I can find that one about the misconception because I don't want to forget it. Um, it's mysterious.
Mm,
It's just something that certain people can do.
yeah.
In reality, I feel like Reiki is just a very natural uh, modality that's available to anybody. Anybody can do it. So I think it's the mystery around it.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they just don't take that deep dive. They just look and see that word Reiki and like, nope, that's not for me. All
yes,
these things, and you have to be special or gifted, and get a lot of like people think it's religious as well. Do you
right,
experience that with people that they think there's some type of dogma attached to it?
right. And every time somebody asks me questions, I record that in my notes and record my answers because inevitably I get asked the same question quite often. Obviously, what is it? The other thing that happened during this group, I'm working with these people, and I'm really involved with the group now a lot because I'm helping the women feel more confident about themselves as they serve others and
Mm,
show them what it is that they're offering their clients and their customers. And so one of the people that was working with me, I also teach angel classes. I'm very close to angels. I know my angels, my guardian angels, and we chat all the time. I even taught classes for a little while, helping people meet their own guardian angel. And I kind of moved away from it a little, but I have angel oracle cards. And I
beautiful.
was using them in the angel classes. And somebody said, Patty, why don't you just start reading angel cards for people? And I never dreamed of pulling cards for people. I pull cards for myself from the time
Sure.
I was young.
Yeah.
Um, and I have tarot cards as well, but I really love the angel oracle cards because they're very uplifting. And so this group of women, I mean, looking at tarot cards is kind of scary for people, I know. And so once this lady said, "Hey," and her name was Angela, I call her my angel. She was the one who recommended that I start sharing angel readings. And so I do that now. And oh man, I have people coming back for that because it's so amazingly supportive.
Sure.
I think what happens with Reiki is once we really truly are into the Reiki, the authentic, genuine part of what Reiki brings into our hearts, I utilize that and bring Reiki into my cards and Reiki into me and Reiki into my clients before I do card readings.
Sure.
And boy, the results are amazing what these people are getting. So I just wanted to share that about a little bit of, people being a little nervous about Reiki in general and cards.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I also do angel card readings. I was trained through Kyle Gray's program. So
Yeah.
it's everything positive, your
Hmm.
strength, right? Your heart, your challenge, and it's presented very in a beautiful way. So those that kind of have those misconceptions about tarot cards and those kind of like concerns, they seem more relaxed when they hear that it's angel cards, right? So Kyle
Yes.
said it's
Yes. And Kyle Gray is one of my favorites.
yes, yes. So he always said it's angels are the heartbeat of God.
Yeah,
So
they are.
very
They
good.
truly are.
Yeah.
And you know what that reminds me, Tracy? I really want to share this before I get away from here about the prayer that I said every single morning when I was a teacher.
Okay.
Um, we have a moment of silence. We say the pledge. You know this. You were a
Mhm.
teacher, and it's just okay. And I'm sorry. What? Everything good? Okay. So I do this moment of silence every morning, and we sing the national anthem and we say the pledge, and then we have the moment. And during that moment of silence, I always use the unity prayer of protection. Then I'm going to tell you it. The light of God surrounds me, the love of God enfolds me, the power of God protects me, and the presence of God watches over me wherever we are, God is. And I would refer to it as us. So I would say it, for the whole class. And it truly, I believe, set me up for bringing Reiki in every single morning into my classroom. And I did not realize that many Reiki people use that prayer. I just found that out here probably a couple months ago. I was reading, another book about Reiki, and I found that a lot of people use the prayer of protection. The prayer of protection is the power of God's love. And I consider it the four archangels that surround me when I call on and
Mhm.
use this prayer: Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael. And they surround me. And then we have Metatron on top and Sandalphon on bottom. So we're in an archangel ball. And
Right.
I put myself into that ball whenever I'm going to do anything spiritual. So I wanted to share that I think I was doing Reiki the whole time that I
Sure.
was teaching.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Prayer was instrumental in my classroom prior
Mhm,
to stepping in. I worked at a traditional kindergarten at a Christian school, and we would gather in the morning to pray for the day.
mhm,
So beautiful,
mhm.
beautiful. I also teach angel Reiki, and angel Reiki,
I do too.
you know, pretty much merges a archangel with one of the symbols. So when you
Mhm.
call that symbol in, that archangel is already present. So it's beautiful.
I don't teach angel Reiki, but I've taken it and taken crystal Reiki as well. It's just fun for me. I enjoy learning.
Yeah,
Lifelong learner here.
beautiful. Oh, yeah, exactly. So
Yes.
like these beautiful specialty and complementary Reikis. So, and you
Yeah.
don't have to teach it. It's something that just adds to your practice, another
Mhm,
tool in your energetic toolbox. Very good.
mhm.
So when it's time for you to get an energetic tune-up, what qualities do you look for in a Reiki practitioner?
Well, first of all, I like integrity. I look for somebody who's genuine.
Yeah.
And I typically go with the people that I've worked with, I have to admit. I'm very cautious and protect my energy. So I don't just go for anybody. I think we all need to be very
Yeah.
cautious and just be careful.
Yeah, be careful who lays hands and who works with your
Mhm.
energy, right? Not
Yeah,
everybody has the best intention. And even though Reiki does no harm, some people come kind of under the disguise of Reiki. I've had a couple clients that have come my way and they said, well, I was doing Reiki. I'm like, oh, that's not Reiki. Reiki would never do that. So,
right, right.
gosh.
It's so interesting. I just watched a program yesterday. I can't even tell you much about it except for the fact that they are now measuring the Reiki
Mm,
that's coming out of your palms. That's,
yes.
yeah, and they are actually saying they have done a blind study and they do see a difference. Reiki works.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The light photography someone put on social media the other day, and they were just sitting there, and someone came in and they were doing Reiki, and you could see the whole screen light up, right? I mean,
Yes, yes, it's exciting. And I know that people, it's hard. I like to tell people, think about the internet.
mhm,
You don't see that. You
yeah,
don't see anything, but it's working.
right.
And that's, how it works. And I try really, really hard to help people understand because
Sure.
being a teacher and especially a primary teacher,
Yep.
we learn how to teach people through analogies
Mhm.
and examples and not just expect them to understand it just because my words come out of my mouth and tell
Sure.
them. Yeah.
Sure. I was on a call with someone yesterday and we were discussing about a presentation we were doing. And she's like, you're like me, you teach through stories. And I think
Mhm.
that's the essence of, right, a primary teacher is
It
just
really is. And stories are what people want to hear.
absolutely. And you want to
Yeah.
be relatable too, right? They can understand, oh, I get it now. But Reiki's definitely something you have to experience. I mean, we can talk about it and rave about it, but until you have that connection and that experience, then that's when you're really going to know with it. So,
It's so true.
right.
Very
So,
good.
as a business owner, Patty Mont Reiki, what advice would you give someone who's just wanting to enter this spiritual work and maybe
Ah,
have their own business?
I took notes. Let's see. My advice: stay grounded in yourself first. Always stay grounded in you. Always go within you because you have all the knowledge. You already have the knowledge, it's inside of you. Don't compare your path to others. I think our world, we in 3D, we compare everything. I mean, even for us to be here on Earth, it's duality, and comparison is how we understand and learn things. And then when we get discombobulated inside, we figure out the best answer. So don't compare yourself. Let your intuition be your greatest guide. I highly recommend, and I would never not do it, give Reiki to myself every morning. I meditate every night and often give Reiki to myself during the day when I need it. Um, so I think when you go inside and you're giving yourself Reiki and you're meditating and finding out who your higher self is, I think that's the key to being a great Reiki teacher or great Reiki practitioner. Um, Trust what you feel when you're sending the Reiki. Once you say gasho, you are giving over everything to Reiki and not having any other thoughts of anything else and just being in neutral myself. That's how I go. And so you need to trust whenever you get a message, oh, I'm putting putting Reiki, and I do Reiki long distance on Zoom all the time. So I'm feeling like I'm standing there over the person and my hand is going around their heart and
Mhm.
their heart chakra. And at that point, all of a sudden, Kuan Yin comes into my brain. So so when you're open like that, I feel like, I'm just open for what's going to happen because I'm trusting Reiki, then that can happen and trust that it is actually happening. Um, Move at your own pace with Reiki. Let your path unfold naturally. It's not something you want to force, I believe. There's no rush in spiritual work. Let me tell you, my first spiritual opening was when I was about 28. It was right before I had the regression where I went back to my life as a school teacher in Missouri. I read a book. My husband and I both read the book, and we are both on the same path, which is awesome. We've been together in many lifetimes. Um, anyway, I read the book called Born Again to Be Together by
Mm,
Dick Sutphin. It talked about reincarnation. Now, I had been raised in the Christian church,
mm,
and reincarnation was not talked about. It wasn't something that was ever even mentioned, but not like it was evil or bad, but just different. And so when I read that book, my husband and I both realized, oh my goodness, we came to this an incarnation together to be light workers, and that's what we've been our entire lives. And so there's no like that happened when I was 28, and I did not get Reiki until I was 68 years old. I'm 72. No, actually I was 66 years old because I'm 72 now. And I mean, just don't rush it. It'll happen to you. But now, this time period, this era that we're in is very powerful.
mhm.
Be careful, protect your energy, but go within. Ask for your higher self to be a part of your life. Ask for your angels to give you messages. Um, be mindful of who you learn from
Mm,
also.
yeah.
Find the person that you match with. And they may be a wonderful and excellent teacher, but they might not match your vibe. And so you want to find somebody like that. Patty, Patricia Lane, and I swear we've been together before. One of my visions, I went to in my Akashic records, and Patty was there when at the table when we were preparing for my soul to come to earth. And so Patty is an instrumental, Patricia is an instrumental person in my world. And so I stuck with her. And then also Diane Thomas, who's also a licensed teacher with the ICRT, I took Master and Karuna
Mm,
with Patty and her. Anyway, getting back to um, be mindful who you learn from. Always stay connected to your own inner truth. And remember that not everything that looks spiritual is aligned.
mm.
So be cautious. Stay curious, stay open, allow yourself to grow through experiences that you have. Send Reiki to as many people as you can, as often as you can, even if you're not charging. I think that's key. Send Reiki. Work with Reiki every day in some way. And above all, come back to your heart because that's where the real guidance lives, is in your heart. So,
Beautiful.
yeah,
Well, thank you for sharing that. So
yeah.
you mentioned a book a little earlier. So now it's time. What books do you
Oh,
recommend?
well, I started reading things like Edgar Casey. In fact, when we first started working with the psychic that took me on the regression, she was very, very close to us. We started having seances at our home. And it was just so much fun. But she was always one that brought light and love into the room. We had a bowl of water in the center of the circle. And we found that both my husband and I are quite psychic. I think everybody is psychic. We just have to pay attention. But I was reading Edgar Casey books at the time. Edgar Casey showed up in one of our seances to give a message, which was really, really cool. Ruth Montgomery books were really big in my shelf. Celestine Prophecy. I highly recommend that series. I know these are old books, but I'm old. Conversations with God. I read everything he did, Neil
Mhm.
Donald Walsh. And then when I became Reiki attuned, we'll get to the Reiki books now. A Modern Reiki Method for Healing by Hiroshi Doi.
It's a good one.
I read that book, and after I had taken all the classes and everything, I just kept wanting to learn more. And so I got that book and read it. And I feel like the reason I like this book, and I wrote down the notes of it, it contains the history of Yusui, Reiki, a method detailed, I'm sorry, a detailed exploration of Reiki, the essence of Reiki, and the halo of love, learning and developing Reiki, how to practice Reiki, combining the traditional Usui Reiki with Western Reiki, the hand positions, Reiki symbols and mantras, the Japanese Reiki techniques, and becoming a Reiki master. The questions and answers offered in the book are really key and helpful. I would recommend you look at this book for that and the glossary of terms that they offer. When you don't understand something that you're reading because it's from Japan and in Japanese, perhaps, not only do I look it up and figure it out that way, but I use Hiroshi Doi's book. So I really, really like that book. Highly
Beautiful.
recommend that. Of course, all of the stuff from William Rand, hello.
Of
You know, I
course.
mean, Healing Touch, the
Mhm.
manual that we use.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
he also has something kind of cool. I bought it. It's the Healing Touch uh, home kit.
Yes.
And not, no, you know it? It's
Yeah.
really cool because it has CDs, it has
Yep.
DVD, um, it has the book that comes with it. It's really, and it has little cards with the hand positions on them. So, like being the primary teacher that I am, of course, I want to have flashcards, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that book I really highly recommend, or
Sure.
that kit that you can
Yes.
get on Reiki.org.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then another book that I want to mention, because I really feel like it's important for us to find out who our guides are, or
Yeah.
to at least communicate with our guides. Okay. Real quick, just one more book, The Seven Types of Spirit Guides: How to Connect and Communicate with Your Cosmic Helpers by Yamil Yamunya. And I really like, have you ever heard of that? The
No.
seven, oh, it's really a good one. I know that we need to move on, but I really highly recommend you look into finding out who your guides are and communicate with them.
Beautiful. So, what services do you offer?
Well, I'm a Reiki teacher of Reiki 1 and 2, and I'm a master level teacher as well. Um, I do angel oracle card reading. I do Reiki sessions, of course, and I do meditations because I believe that my clients needed meditation to help them receive the Reiki and have it be more beneficial for them. So I do a meditation twice a month. I invite people on Zoom to come and watch my meditations. I use meditations that I received years ago, and then I just started building my own. So now I even create meditations for, I've had people like lose their pet. So I create a meditation for them. So the meditations are really a big part of my services. And I do animal Reiki and crystal Reiki.
Beautiful. Do you offer, I think I saw it, the Sunday Reiki request?
Oh, yes. I want to talk about that just for a minute. I started working with Diane Thomas, and we built a space on Facebook called Friends of Reiki.
Mhm.
And it's quite large. Over 5,000, probably close to 6,000 people now that belong there. And we just post lots of really wonderful information just to inform people about Reiki. But every Sunday, our group sends Reiki to those who request it. And it's at 5 o'clock Eastern time. And you can sign up if you'd like to join the Friends of Reiki Facebook group. You can sign up there and receive Reiki every Sunday.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, where can someone find you if they are interested in a session or a service you offer or want to receive a training?
Well, I have a website. My website is called
Mm,
onAmission.bio /Patty Montgomery /. So I'm sure you'll have that written somewhere so they can look at it. But anyway, I have a website, and I just share all of my services there. You can find out more about me as a person there. Um, and you can sign up and read all about me. I
beautiful.
also have a Yahoo email that you can contact me with. It's called my patty.myreiki@yahoo.com. So contact me
Beautiful.
for
And you
anything.
offer online and in person. Where can we find you if we want to see you in person?
Well, right now, the only thing that I have set up is online, but
Okay.
my in-person is coming.
Beautiful.
I have a space that's a friend that's, well, I've just met her, but she's a crystal. She has a crystal shop. And there's a back room in the crystal shop. So I'm going to set up, and that's in Vancouver, Washington. So
Beautiful.
I don't have the address right now because it's not set up yet, but that's coming.
Beautiful. We keep in touch, right? Yep. To be
Yeah.
announced.
Yes.
Wonderful. Beautiful. Well, that ends the first part of our journey. I'm going to guide you into the second part, which are questions from social media and Reiki students. So, number
Okay.
one, how has your background in education helped you navigate your business?
Well, I am not at all afraid to stand up and talk in front of a group of people. And that's important, I
Mhm.
believe. I think, I don't know, I think I came into teaching with that though. Honestly, I just stepped in and went, this is what I'm doing. That's just how I live my life though. Um, anything else? What else could I say about that? I don't know.
No, I mean, it brings creativity, right?
Oh, yes.
I think it's great for those who are new because I think in a way we teach. I mean, I'm usually a teacher's teacher, right? And to
Yeah.
help guide it in a way that's a little bit more understandable with it. But yeah, heart of
Mhm.
the teacher, passion, excitement, looking at the room and reading the room, right? And knowing like if
Oh,
it's
yes.
what do? You stop and redirect, right? Find another approach.
Yes.
And I always tell people when I teach, like, well, I was a kindergarten teacher. So as I'm teaching yoga or Reiki, there will be signs when I tell you to get cozy mosey, right? To find your Goldilocks, find your just right, So
Crisscross applesauce.
there you go. That's what we do. Yeah, right. So bring a little
I
playfulness into it and fun, right?
and and when you mention creativity, that is such a huge part
Mhm.
of being creative in presenting
Yeah,
the ideas. And I enjoyed having that creativity, and
sure.
creativity is so important for all of us. So
Sure, sure. And I
huge.
mean, I was teaching a training and it just wasn't clicking with the power on symbol. And I know we are respectable and secret to what that is if our listeners are listening.
Yeah.
But I would take the music by Prince, Raspberry Beret, and we would draw it and sing it and say the symbol's name. And with the beat of that, and they would
I,
do it here, we would draw it, and do, 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 do. Well, you know the name, so just it
uh-huh.
with it. And
Yes.
a playful way of remembering it. They'll certainly remember me singing it, right? And
You know
chanting.
what's funny about what you just said is when I would have a child's name, a student that came in that was very difficult to pronounce their
Sure.
last name,
Yeah.
I would sing it and
Yeah.
get the beat of it, and then I was always able to say their name because I too believe that your name is so important.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So we would sing it. Yeah. There was always music, playfulness in my classroom, as I'm sure it was for you as well. So, but I
Yes.
think that brings it into it and makes it, it takes a little bit of that pressure off because people
Mhm.
stress out about learning it and the rituals and all those things, which are wonderful. But I mean, Reiki has its own intelligence. I mean,
Yeah.
if you forget to do Gashiho, is it not going to work? It's that intention with it. So,
Yes.
all right, number two. In a world of Reiki, there are so many systems of Reiki. I just saw yesterday there's Akashic Record Reiki, Dolphin Reiki. This person that wrote this question is not sure what to start with. What
Mhm.
called you to study with Uzui Holy Fire 3 Reiki?
Well, really and truly, it was because I found Patricia,
Yeah,
and Patricia is Yusui.
right.
Holy Fire 3. Something that Diane Thomas said to me that I thought made so much sense was she goes, I wonder why you didn't get Reiki, like it didn't show up earlier in your life.
Hmm,
And then she said out loud, like her thought that came down, I'm sure she got a download that said, it's because Patty came into Reiki when everything was developed.
sure.
I mean, Holy Fire 3 is not going to go to Holy Fire 4. We're done with that. I do believe though, however, that the new keys are opening up inside of us
Mhm,
when we ask for a Reiki to come through like angelic Reiki. I
mhm,
think it opens a different key that adds to the Reiki that we already have, if
sure.
that makes sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at the connection of the energy in 1922. Our world is very different. Just think of the technology,
Yeah.
right, that we have now, how our earth has evolved. So we needed that upgrade, right?
Yeah.
For that
Right.
technology to do these kind of teachings online. So something
Yes.
to shift and change with it. And I think that's the essence of Azui, that he was guided by the energy. The
Hmm.
energy led him. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Same way with William Rand.
Hmm.
He keeps getting led, and I mean, all of them that are bringing in the new
Sure.
energies. I
Hmm.
also believe that us as the operating system are changing.
Yeah.
I truly believe we're upgrading our whole system of seeing the world.
Sure. Especially
So,
this year too, because there's such division now. I don't know if you've noticed, if you take a glance on social media, you have those traditionalists that it's only one way and they're not supporting other lineages or other schools of Reiki or other systems. Then you have those that it's like, okay, we're bringing all of these in. So, but it's kind of like we need to be together on this. It's about service and love. So the energy
yes,
coming in to kind of shift this so that we can all be together on William's grid. That is representation of all religions, right? We're
absolutely.
all one, and that's the whole purpose of it. It's not saying that this system's better than this one, or we're not going to acknowledge this because you're not following that. It's just a beautiful variety, and I say if it gets someone on the path of healing, then we're winning. We're winning.
I,
It's
I totally agree. I could not agree more. We need
yeah.
to be open to love, and it's all love.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
That's all there is.
Right. Third question. How can
Okay.
Reiki help me find inner peace?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, when Reiki comes into the system, when I bring Reiki into my system, I am not thinking of anything else. And so I'm calm within myself. And I think that anytime Reiki comes into your system, it brings a calmness to you and to the person that you're sending it to.
Mm.
Um, I, I'm not sure what else I can say for that.
Sure. I mean, it's always my anchor. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, it is. And it's funny that you say the word anchor because
Yeah.
anchor is a big word in my life. My husband is my anchor. In fact, I call him my anchor.
Beautiful. I love that. Well, that was our last question. As we've been talking, is there anything you might have forgotten or something you want to share with the listeners? The floor is yours.
Hmm. I want to look at my notes because I want to make sure that I have covered everything that I have through in my life that I wanted to share. Um, let's see. I covered everything there. All right. I cannot, I can't tell you. There's just I am in a Reiki way of life. That
Yeah.
is my final thought. Reiki has brought myself closer to my authentic self. I have
Sure.
grown so much more spiritually, and I was already spiritual my whole life. And so
Sure.
Reiki just brought more spirituality and love of more people of even than I was in before. And I just have a deep gratitude for the gift of Reiki.
Beautiful. Well, I'm going
So,
to share with our listeners what you had actually sent me. So you say,
okay.
I believe life is a never ending journey filled with wonderful and joyous opportunities that, if we notice them, will guide us to know our most authentic selves. From very early in my life, I have felt called to be a channel for light and love. After 3 decades as an elementary teacher, Reiki found me, and it felt like a divine continuation of my path. Through Reiki, I help others connect with their inner light, find healing, and embrace the beauty of their most authentic self.
Thank you.
Last time, your website where we can reach you.
On a mission.bio/Patty Montgomery /.
Beautiful. Thank you, Patty
And
Montgomery, for
oh,
being a part of the Ready Set Reiki journey and taking time out of your very busy schedule.
thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Tracy. You have a wonderful day.
You too. All right, my beautiful listeners, if you'd like your question featured on Ready Set Reiki, reach out www.readysetreiki.com. I'm Tracy Seawright, and this has been Ready, Set, Reiki.